A very good afternoon to Mr. Iskandar Ismail, our guest speaker for today's dialogue session, Mr. Har Mahinder Singh, Head of School, Taylor's Law School, lecturers of Taylor's Law School, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second dialogue session of the semester. My name is Nimisha and I shall be your MC for the day. To kickstart today's proceedings, we would like to invite Ms. Putri, Senior Lecturer and Program Director for Master of Laws Programs, Taylor's Law School, to introduce our speaker for today, Mr. Iskandar Ismail. Over to you, Ms. Putri.
Thank you so much, Nimisha, and a very good afternoon to all the participants who are here today, especially our distinguished speaker, Encik Iskandar Ismail, as well as his colleagues from Malaysian Competition Commission. I also have to acknowledge the presence of my Master of Law students, in particular Dr. Baxter, as well as Dr. Kome for supporting this event, as well as Taylor's legal aid team for assisting me in terms of getting students to join, as well as all undergraduate students. So thank you so much. So it is indeed a pleasure for me to introduce Encik Iskandar Ismail, a very busy man. I've been chasing him for about 1 year to secure this moment where he can share his insights on how law students can actually go beyond than just working in a law firm. Encik Iskandar Ismail has a very colorful working experience, I would say. Upon his graduation from Bachelor of Laws degree, he actually pursued his Master of Laws degree in International and Comparative Law at George Washington University in Washington, United States. Thereafter, he came back to Malaysia and got admitted to the Malaysian bar as an advocate and solicitor. But before he intends to practice in a law firm, he decides to challenge himself, where he worked at Puncak Niaga as an in-house counsel. Then he decides he joined the Bank Negara Malaysia to be part of a pioneer prosecuting team in the legal department, where he was attached at Bank Negara Malaysia for about 7 years. So I understand Bank Negara gives a lot of perks and benefits to all of its staff back then, but yet that doesn't stop Encik Iskandar for pursuing bigger dreams. So he left Bank Negara Malaysia, and thereafter he pursued to achieve his dreams at an international level, where he went to United Nations in Tanzania, where he was attached there as an assistant trial attorney for about 8 years. So whilst he was there, he was active in prosecuting cases relating to genocides, as well as any cases which are serious violation of the international human rights law. So then after 8 years, that's where he realized that he would like to come back to Malaysia and achieve bigger dreams, where he subsequently joined Malaysia Competition Commission as the Director of the Investigation and Enforcement at MyCC. So after working as the Director of Investigation and Enforcement for 5 years, he is currently serves as the Chief Executive Officer, as well as he is listed as one of the Justice Rapid Response Expert, providing insights and advice to entities which has mandate or jurisdiction to do fact-finding or inquiries relating to mass atrocities that have occurred. So with that, I would like to pass this virtual stage to Encik Iskandar to share how university students can transition from a university graduates to United Nations and become CEO of an organization. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes, thank you, Nimisha. Thank you, Ms. Putri, for the introduction. I would like to share with you, all of you, the law students who aspire, to become, the future leaders of Malaysia. There are few international criminal court under United Nations. One of them is International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda. Okay, in 1994, I just want to share with you a bit of background of this Rwanda genocide history. In 1994, about, from April to July, almost more or less this 1 million have been killed in less than 3 months. Yeah, so it means that if you do the calculation, it means around about 30,000 people were killed every day. Yeah. So anyhow, before I joined ICTR, or International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, I just want to share with you, there's one incident where quite interesting. In 2001, I just arrived in Washington, D.C. I was given the scholarship by Bank Negara Malaysia, or the Central Bank of Malaysia. And then 3 months after that, September 11 happened. It was in Washington, D.C. As you know, one of the target was the Pentagon. So I live around 5 minutes away from Pentagon at that point of time. I mean, that day, from that day on, US totally changed. Yeah. So I can see the change. I mean, the change was so rapid. I mean, I don't think so I would like to stay in US anymore. Yeah, but for a visit or for a shopping trip, yes. Yeah. So anyhow, okay, before I reach to this stage, I just would like to share with you. I work also before this as a tutor, as a salesman, as a clerk at legal firm during my studies. Yeah, when I was with IIU, International Islamic University, it somehow taught me few things. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say to you is that, yes, go ahead with your studies, your law studies, but go outside there and earn some experience on the ground itself. Yeah. So that, you will open your eyes to endless possibilities out there. Yeah, you never know. When I work with 7-Eleven, at 7-Eleven, I met a lot of people. Some of them are big shots. They bought ice cream for me. Sometimes I scolded them for not giving the, when you go to 7-Eleven, they say, do you have 10 cents, sir? They always ask you that, for small change, so that, we don't have to fork out, give a lot of change to the customer. So, and you will somehow see, how the system works. Especially amongst the consumers. Yeah, you will see how they behave, and then as a salesman, how you try to convince people to buy, the stuff that you don't even want. So just imagine, yeah, selling the things that you are not interested in, you see. So, but I managed to sell a lot of hard calligraphy to some people in Subang Jaya. At that point of time, I joined this small company selling hard calligraphy. So but I managed to make a big sales. So from there, somehow it taught you it taught me especially on how to embrace all the differences in what is everything in front of you. You just have to accept, embrace, and try to work it out. Yeah. So but the epitome of my motivation is that you may have a lot of few motivation, or maybe one, but for me, I just want to leave a legacy. That is my ultimate objective in my professional life. I just don't want to yes, for money is very important. We cannot fault you if you want you want to study law because you want to get rich. It's not wrong. Go ahead. With money you can do anything. Yeah, you can be a philanthropist if you want to. Yeah, and some people, they say, okay, I want to study law because of my family. My father is a judge, my mother is a lawyer, so I like them. And then I like their profession, and then I want to keep the legacy of my family being in the law line. So be it. Okay, And then the other one, maybe, you know, your motivation, maybe you want job satisfaction, or even the one of the most, what do you call that, I might say popular is for self-glory. You may realize it or not, somehow, maybe you, what do you call that, when you are in the working line or working world, okay, you may confuse between legacy and self-glory. So you must be really, really careful here. It's not bad, you know, to chase for your self-glory, you know, so that you can leave whatever legacy or whatever it is. But the thing is, it's a bit tricky there. But whatever it is not wrong. It's your own right. Yeah. So as for me, when I say legacy, as you can see in the screen, I show you the judgment and sentence of my team's case, which what do you call it? I was in the prosecution. I prosecuted this former minister of development of Rwanda in 1994. He was the minister in 1994. He was convicted of genocide and rape during the genocide. So he got imprisoned for 25 years. Yeah. So that's the legacy I want to leave to the world. Yeah. So that's how I see it. So it's up to you. You have to what do you call that? Decide for your for you, and maybe for your own family. Yeah. And then the next one is, you know, when you become you know, something like a very important man. I mean, you'll be facing medias, you know. Even today, for your information, I would like to invite everybody to go into MyCC's website. We just released a final decision on a cartel case against insurance companies in Malaysia, all of them. We fined them 130 million ringgit. Yeah. So just go ahead. If you are in competition law, like some of us here, I'm very sure, okay, go ahead and read that cartel decision. It's about 276 pages only. Yeah, it took us 5 years to reach that stage. It's a very big case. And it's going to be, it's going to be an interesting reading for you. Okay, so next. Okay, of course you want success in your life. Okay, but you must remember, money is just a byproduct of your success. Yeah, when you are successful, money will follow you. Don't follow money. Yeah. I can guarantee you, if you follow money, I don't know, I cannot guarantee the success of your professional life. Yeah. So make it, what do you call that? Treat it the other way around. Okay. You must always chase success rather than money, because with success, not only you going to have money, you're going to have a, you know, something like a reputation. You'll be recognized as expertise and an expertise in your own field. Maybe one day you're going to win Nobel Prize. You never know. Yeah. So so you remember this. Yeah. So next. Okay. The other thing is that I just want to touch. Okay. When you have a law degree, okay, there's endless possibilities out there. Yeah. Okay. For me, I just don't want to be stuck in one what do you call it, area. You see, and I always like to do something different. Okay, that is me. But it's up to you. If you want to stick around in the same area forever and ever, go ahead. If that makes you happy, yeah. So mine is, when the first professional job that I had, okay, of course I joined Puncak Niaga as a legal executive there, but it was just for 6 months. So I don't consider it as my professional, you know, experience. Okay, the first real one was that when I venture into financial crimes area, yeah, I joined Central Bank of Malaysia or Bank Negara Malaysia. I had the opportunity to be part of the pioneering prosecution team for Bank Negara, because at that point of time, Bank Negara decided to enforce their law through prosecution. So I managed to get the experience of what do you call that, prosecuting people for indulging in get rich quick scheme. I don't know whether you know about it or not. Maybe get rich quick scheme is like in Malay they say scheme Pak Mantelo. There's one Pak Mantelo. This uncle by the name of Pak Mantelo, he made this pyramid scheme. Yeah, you invest 100 ringgit, you get 1,000 in 3 months time. Okay, so if this is really true, every banks in the world will go bankrupt. Okay, so what we did is that we go after these people, we prosecuted them, we prosecuted also bank officer, unlicensed money changer, and whatnot. Okay, I was there for about 7 years, and then maybe because I work, I work a bit harder than anyone else, I was offered scholarship by Bank Negara to go to Washington DC to do my master's. Okay, and then I jumped into human rights law. I don't know whether you remember or not. I don't know how old were you at that point of time. You know, in sometime in 2005 or early 2000, people were screaming about human rights law because of the the issues in Iraq, the issues in in places that were bombed by Americans and whatnot. Yeah, so they were shouting about human rights law, and then suddenly I said, "Hey, yeah, this must be interesting." Of course, you can't prosecute United States of America, right? Okay, it's impossible. Okay, they are the king of the world, so-called. Okay, anyhow, so I decided to do something different. Yeah, so to do something that I think I can contribute to the society at large. So I chose to what do you call that, to apply for a job in International Criminal Tribunal in Rwanda. So I managed to get it. I went there 2005 and 2012. It was very interesting. You see, from being what do you call it, being involved in financial crime, I jumped into human rights law. In prosecuting genocide, in genocide cases. I don't know, when I told everybody, especially my families and close friends, they said, I think you went crazy already. Why you want to go to Tanzania or this African continent? That's a lot of wars, there's famine, diseases and whatnot. I said, well, I just want to explore the world. I want to do something. Yeah, people are screaming about human rights law, but they just stop at screaming. They didn't do anything else. Okay, they are just blaming all people for all these atrocities, but didn't do anything. That's how I see it. Yeah. So so I went there with an open mind. So I work with people from every continent in the world. I work with Europeans, Americans, Africans, Arabians, Indians, Chinese, Korean, everyone. Okay. This is the start where I see the world a bit larger. You see? So in tailors, yeah, I was, Malaysia, has a lot of international students. So I'm very sure right now you have international classmates, right? Maybe from Nigeria, maybe from Kazakhstan, or maybe from China. Okay, make friends. I mean, you don't want to live in the cocoon that you think that is large enough for you, for the rest of your life. I mean, you should open your eyes, open your mind, get to know people, get to know their culture, embrace differences, and I can guarantee you one thing, you will develop into someone else. Okay, basically you will change. You will change how you see the world. Yeah, that is very important. Because if you want to see the extreme poverty, I mean, Tanzania showcased me many examples, even Rwanda. I went to almost 20 countries in African continent. I went to Gabon, I went to Cameroon, Swaziland, South Africa, Ghana, Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia. And I can, what do you call that? I can guarantee you, I mean, you won't see the world from the previous perspective. And then you will somehow, what do you call that, always welcome changes, you see. There may not be an interesting development in our own country, in Malaysia, but the thing is, if you can witness the development, the changes in other parts of the world, I can guarantee you, you will learn a lot from there and you become a new person. Yeah. So I spent there for about 8 years. Yeah. So then when the United Nations said, okay, we already prosecuted 90% of them. Okay, we want to close the tribunal. So I said, okay, I think I've done my part. So at the same time, they gave us one year advance notice before closing the tribunal. So I started to apply. Okay, talking about application for job application. Sometimes you don't have to wait for the job advertisement, yeah. You don't have to wait for that. I mean, you must read, you must explore the opportunities that you know, sometimes you may not see it, but it's there in front of your eyes. How did I manage to join MyCC? Let me tell you one secret. Okay, I read the newspaper online when I was in Tanzania. Okay, Arusha, to be exact. Okay, Arusha is a city next to Kilimanjaro mountain. And for your information, every year I will see Malaysian coming to Kilimanjaro mountain to climb it. Yeah, and I became the focal point there, okay, to welcome them. Okay, so anyhow, so how did I get into Malaysia Competition Commission or MyCC? I read an article online, and there was this article reporting about MyCC. At that point of time, they were just established a year, and then the chairman at that point of time, Tan Sri Siti Noor Yaakob, a former Chief Judge of Malaya, okay, she told the reporter that we are still looking for the right people. You see, so I decided to write to her a very short and sweet letter, because I know, you know, a former judge, in fact, they love to read. And, you know, so I wrote her a letter. I didn't write her an email. Okay. So I wrote a letter. I sent it, I scanned it. Then I asked my family to print it and send it by courier to her. And then she read it. The next week, she contacted me. Iskandar, I want to see you. So I flew into Malaysia just to meet her for 15 minutes. Of course, I stay in Malaysia 1 week lah to get all the durians, cendol, nasi lemak, of course lah. See, you have to, you know, take that opportunity also. So I met her for 15 minutes, and then because, you know, government regulation and whatnot, SOP, and then I was only being offered the job a few months after that. But it was worth the trip, you know. I paid around maybe 5,000 ringgit just to go back to Malaysia, just to meet her 15 minutes. Yeah. Just because he said, I'm still looking for the right people. So I wrote to her in the letter. I quoted her. Tan Sri, you say in the star, you say you are still trying to find the right people. So I'm the right one. Yeah, I got this experience. I got this qualification. It'd be nice if you can meet. So she wrote back to me. Okay, so we met, and then the rest is history. Yeah. So competition law. So from human rights law to competition law, different world altogether. You know, when I was prosecuting all these people, I had to go. You see, all these ministers in Rwanda at that point of time, they didn't do all the killings. Only their foot soldiers. So we had to go to all the foot soldiers who killed their neighbors, their friends, even their families, just to be alive. So I was shaking. This is what we call shaking hands with the devils. Literally shaking hands with the devils. They admitted in front of me, many of them who became my witnesses, prosecution witnesses, in proving these people committed genocide, that they killed their own people. Yeah. So from this experience, I jumped into competition law. Competition law, for your information, is based on principle of economics. It uses administrative law on how to deal with the cases. It involves a lot of analysis of data and whatnot. I dare to say at least half of you, okay, does not like mathematics. Basically, law students, they don't like numbers. Okay, I can guarantee you. Don't kid yourself lah. Okay, okay. So, so just imagine from genocide to competition law. And competition law involves a lot, playing with numbers. So just imagine. So what I'm trying to portray here is that don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to venture into something new. You see, basically you have to challenge yourself to the limit. You see, that's how people will value you. Yeah. So with the experience you have, okay, somehow you may make yourself valuable in many ways. Yeah. People ask me, I did my chambering for 9 months, but I didn't practice. I never practiced in my life. Maybe at the age of 50, maybe 55, I'm still 25 years old. So what do you call that? Maybe I'll be venturing into opening up a boutique legal firm maybe in about 20 years time from now. Okay. But chambering, from what I see, there's two things that prevented me from practicing. One is at that point of time when I completed my chambering, it was the ASEAN economic crisis in 1998. Okay. The usual salary for a lawyer at that point of time was between 1,800 to 3,000 per month. But because of ASEAN economic crisis in 1998, all the legal firms, okay, are offering on average 500 ringgit per month. So I told one of them, don't insult my, my what do you call that, my intelligence, my sacrifice for 6 years, okay, 500 ringgit. I was getting 400 ringgit for my chambering. Right now, you guys, if you go into chambering, okay, after you finish your studies, you'll be paid around 3,000 to 5,000 ringgit. Just imagine. Yeah, but for us, 400 ringgit, you know, at that point of time, I mean, it's quite a lot lah, because you can eat a good lunch for 3 ringgit at that point of time. Yeah. So anyhow, and then the second thing is that in legal firm, especially in big legal firms, I mean, they have a lot of division. They have conveyancing, they have litigation, under litigation, they have defamation, they have criminal and whatnot. You see, so I couldn't what do you call that, somehow, you know, at that point in time I was very young, very naive, you know, very inexperienced. So I see, I don't think so, what do you call that, I want to go into practicing. So I decided to join Puncak Niaga. I was involved in the concession agreement, water concession agreement between the Selangor government and Puncak Niaga. Then somehow I got the opportunity to serve Bank Negara Malaysia, and then I joined United Nations for 7 years, and then lastly, right now, I joined Malaysia Competition Commission as Director of Investigation at first 5 years. Okay, if you read about competition law in Malaysia, maybe you stumble upon the case of Malaysia Airlines and what do you call that, AirAsia, your favorite airlines, remember? Okay, we find them about 20 million, you know, 10 million each. Malaysia Airlines haven't paid until now. That is beside the point. Okay, you know, they are suffering. You know, Malaysia Airlines is a never-ending story for them. And then we find other people's like MyEG services for about 9.6 million. You know, our fines will run up to millions of ringgit. I mean, it's common for competition law cases. In Europe, there's one cartel case against all these truck makers like Volvo, MAN, and others. They were fined 2.5 billion euro. So you times by 5, it's about 12.5 billion ringgit. So it's common lah, yeah. So if you want to see real money, you go into competition law. Okay. So okay. Besides having your experience, what do you call that? Your education and whatnot. Okay. These are the same some characteristics, some competency that you must have in you. Okay. Passion. Have you heard of this saying that if you love your job, you won't work for another day? Yeah. So what do you call that? So you must have the passion. You must have the grit. There's a book called Grit, titled Grit. Go have a read. This book is very interesting. They say yes, talent is important. Yeah, but tenacity is another thing. If you can't really go through all these long hours, criticism, you know, whatever it is, you know, all the what do you call that? You expect, you know, people to respect you just like that, you know, and then maybe you have some communication problem, and then suddenly you'll be alone, you know, or you work in silo, and then I mean, basically you don't have the what do you call that, tenacity in in life, you see. So you must be immune to all these challenges, you see. You must overcome these challenges. Talent is okay, good brain is okay, okay, but grit is important, as much as your talent. Yeah. Fire in the belly. Sometimes one day you will be, oh, okay, you'll be so pumped up. The next day you will be like, okay, I don't like this, I don't like that. You know, stop. Just try to get the fire, you know, always burning in your belly. Yeah, you must do something. You know yourself better than us. better than me. I mean, you must know how to, get it going always. And the last one, patience. This is what I've observed. As the CEO of MyCC, I have been interviewing. In fact, I had an interview session in the morning to select few, candidates to work for us. From what I see, there's a trend amongst the youngsters. They said if you work for an organization more than 2 years is long enough. I really don't understand what do you mean 2 years is long enough. I'm not saying about you, I'm saying about others. Yeah, okay. But please know that 2 years is not, I can guarantee you, is not sufficient for you to say it's long enough. You see, 2 years is not enough for you to get the right experience. Just imagine you work in a big company, you just one part of a machine of that whole system. So if you say you work in this, maybe you are in social media area, okay? Social media is just part of communication. Okay, communication division is huge. You see, social media is just one branch of communication. So if you say you work in a social media for 2 years, you say this is more than enough, I can go up, I want the manager position, and then I think it's not that right for you to say. Patience will bring you a lot of benefits, a lot of things to you. Good things will come if you are patient enough. Get the right amount and the right experience. Yeah. Because to me, working in an organization more or less 5 years is good. But less than 3 years, I don't think so you will learn a lot. I don't think so that you will reach the level that you say, I mean, people can say anything you say that is a wisdom from maybe from Putri Sophia, what she say is, she show her wisdom or whatever. No. You see? And then when you work in an organization, teamwork is very important. Okay, if you want to see teamwork, come to MyCC. There are 70 of us only taking care of the whole country. All industries in Malaysia, except for 4 areas only. Okay. And then, accountability is very important also. Okay, you must accept the responsibility. Anything wrong with your work, just accept it as your own responsibility. Don't blame others. If you start blaming others, you will go nowhere. Yeah. Embrace differences. Some people will work very slow. Some people will work very careful. Some people try to be perfectionist. Some people will be critical of you. Just try to find a common ground, use your strength, and try to work it out. Okay, there's no point for you to say, oh, this guy is not good, that guy is very slow, that guy is funny, whatever it is lah. Okay, so you must have few of these characteristics in you when you are in your professional life. Yeah, even now, starting from now is very important also. Okay, when Miss Putri Sophia said, okay, you must submit your assignment within 2 weeks, submit it within 2 weeks. Don't wait until the very last day and ask for extension. Okay, if she said the class should be in live session, so be it. Okay, there must be a reason. Yeah, she's a pioneer in gamification and AR. Okay, anyhow, okay, through law degree, you can, as I said, there's endless possibilities for you. You want to practice, go ahead. You want to become a company secretary, there's a possibility also. In a lot of companies, they have this legal and secretarial manager or head, whatever. So you want to be the legal counsel at the same time company secretary for that company. Okay, but it's a lot of work. Company secretary. Have you seen Companies Act? How thick is it? It is. Have you seen Companies Act? If you like Companies Act, go ahead. I think it's going to be very interesting lah for the rest of your life. Yeah. You can, in fact, if you want to become politician, I mean, there's a lot of politicians that have law degree. Okay. You can become a government officer, lecturer, enforcement officer, a judge. Yeah. Human rights and public policy practitioner, CEOs, editor, and other jobs. I mean, law degree is good, but you must have other ingredients in you also. Yeah, don't rely on your law degree only. I've met a lot of people, a lot of candidates. Okay, they are so good. They are so good. They achieve 3.5 for their CGPA. They write very well. And maybe some of them I met of them speaks very well. But these people who speaks very well, sometimes they can't translate it into black and white. You see, they are good only in speaking, but they don't know how to write. Some of them, they know how to write, but they are too shy to talk, to discuss. To me, the more you discuss, the more you open yourself to a discussion, the more you learn. You see, because we come from Malaysia, if you notice, I don't know, in classes, and there's a lot of people who like to listen only, and being, given all the answers by the lecturer. Yeah, you must be very active in the class. The more you are active, the more you, learn. That's how I see it. Yeah, in my meetings, I will push the juniors to speak. I said that there is no right or wrong here. Yeah, I just want to hear your opinion, and then maybe we can learn from each other. Okay. So the next level, if you want to specialize, is like you go to a GP, a general practitioner, the ordinary doctor. This ordinary doctor, they can treat everyone, right? So this is your law degree basically. So if you want to become a eye specialist, you want to become family health specialist, or you want to become a gynecologist, you must go into specialization. The only way for you to get the specialization, you must go for masters or MBA or any professional certificate out there. Okay. So for me, I was basically told to get an LLM by Bank Negara. Okay, and then I chose United States, not United Kingdom. Yeah. Okay. So so I learned different aspects. That's where I learned about competition law. I took competition law subject. It was so boring at first, but when I practice it, it's so interesting. I come this February, it'll be my 8th year in MyCC. Yeah, don't be surprised, Nimisha. Yeah. So okay. Last but not least, keep this as your mantra, maybe. Okay, embrace change. If your boss, okay, in your professional life say, okay, now is the time for you to be, transferred to another division. Okay. Don't look it from the negative aspect. Maybe you think at that point of time, you think, oh, my boss doesn't like it, or my head of division doesn't like me anymore. That's why I've been transferred. No. You see, remember, an organization is just like a machine. It's like a car. There's an engine, there's a gearbox, there's a steering wheel, everything is part of of a car. Everything is important. Without the steering wheel, how are you going to drive a car? Just imagine, without a gearbox, how are you going to drive the car? Okay, so if you are being transferred to another division, go for that challenge. Yeah, make the best out of it. Okay, and the second one, be relevant at all times. It means that you must update, develop your skills at all times. Don't be so specialized. Okay, yours truly is here. Okay, from financial crime to genocide law to competition law. Okay, let us do a bet here. If someone can do that, okay, I will belanja them. Okay, you can come to me in about 15 years time, you come to me. Okay, no, but it's just so, what do you call that? There's a lot. You see, in this world, there's a lot of things, you know. Don't just look from the one side of the coin only. You see, there's always the other side. And then you will see change in your life. So if you know Frank Herbert, okay, he said that the beginning of knowledge is the discovery of something we do not understand. So keep exploring the world. Try to open your mind to every opportunities out there, and then embrace change, as I said just now. So okay, www.mycc.gov.my. Okay, we have Facebook and LinkedIn. Please like our posting. Okay, thank you so much.
First up, we have a question from Law Jingyu, and she would like to ask the question herself. Jingyu, you can turn on your mic and ask.
Hi, Iskandar. Hello.
Hi.
My name is Jingyu, and so my question is basically like this. So you know, when you go to Club and Society Day, there are a lot of clubs approaching you and say that if you join our club, you can actually like gain these soft skills to actually like enhance your employability or not, which possibly can be a mere path. Yeah. So what do you think is the key elements that the employer will look into when they are actually recruiting a university graduate into the company? And in your opinion, academic achievement, which is CGPA or out-campus activity, which build the soft skills in the university graduate is more important. Okay. Yeah, because sometimes the students will just like focus on one and neglect another one.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ying-Hei. Okay. Okay, education background is just something like fundamentals that we need from you. Why you need soft skills? Because when you are in in the working life, you need to know how to communicate with each other. You need to know about teamwork. Because let's say in your tailors, you being invited to become one of the committees to hold an event, okay, for an event in tailors. So you will be working in a group, right? So that's where you develop your skills of teamwork, yeah, communicating with others, okay, accepting what we call the mistake together, okay. So that's why it's very important for organization, not just, I always ask my candidates, what is your hobby? You see, a hobby will make you an interesting person. Do you agree with me, Jinhui? What if you don't have any hobby?
Agree, because to me, right, I actually think that academic background is everyone will have one, but hobby is the thing that differentiates you with another person.
There's one candidate, you know, she was a makeup artist. She likes to make, you know, do this. You know, sometimes it's funny, you know. You see, she doesn't have this what do you call that? She's not an A student, okay. But she likes to do makeup for people since the young age, and then it became her, you know, what do you call, other source of income. Okay, so she went even as far as doing makeup for, you know, the bride and the grooms. you know. So we asked her. So, and then we talked to her, and she was a very interesting person. Because you see, when you make up people almost every week, you know, you look at people's eye, you look at people's face, and you will learn a lot, you see. And she knows how to read people, you see. So, but unluckily, we couldn't offer her, you know, the right position, you see. But she was a very interesting person, just because she goes for, you know, she's good in makeup. And another person, that person was a pianist. He is what do you call it, in grade 11 of this level in, you know, he knows how to play piano very well. And you know, playing piano shows that you are a very what do you call that, somehow, you know, different person, in a way that the way how you think, the way, you know, how you play, you know, use your fingers to the fullest, and then all these keys in the pianos. I don't know how to play piano, but we are always amazed at people who knows how to play piano, right? Yeah. And people who climb Mount Kinabalu many times, you see. For us, it's like, wow, we have Mount Kinabalu, the highest in Southeast Asia, but we never climb it, including yours truly, you see. But that's what make, you know, that person interesting, in the sense that he has other qualities. Yeah. So that's how I see it lah. Develop your soft skills. Your degree is just a basic. Yeah. Okay. I have, yeah. Nimesha, I have a lot of questions there.
Yes. So the next question is from Nalini. She asked if basic degree is in medicine and she's pursuing a LLM in healthcare law. Are there any opportunities to venture to the United Nations?
Oh yes, of course. But you have to pay me apa ni lah, consultant fee lah kan? No, I'm just kidding. You see, okay, you go into one of the what do you call it, website to apply for jobs in United Nations is that unjobs.org, or you can go into careers.un.org. Okay, you must understand there's a lot of possibilities, opportunities, I meant, in United Nations, because they have a lot of organizations under them, right? They have WHO, they have UNESCO, they have everything, UNCTAD, and whatnot. Okay. The first thing is that United Nations, they don't have what do you call that, the time to train you. Okay, they expect you, once you join them, you work straight away. Okay, that's how I've been treated. The first day I came to the office, they said, okay, here's the file, prepare for this witness. And I don't know French at that point of time, because French and English are the languages of United Nations. So learn French also, yeah? Okay, some basic French. Okay. I don't know how to speak French, but I can read French a bit.
Thank you for the questions, everyone. To commemorate this dialogue session, please switch on your cameras for the photo taking session.
And if you can look at the camera lens and then give your best smile on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'll take another one. Excellent, everyone. I can see you, Dr. Kome. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and one last one, I swear. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
That brings us to the end of our dialogue session for the semester, our second dialogue session for the semester. On behalf of Taylor's Law School, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Iskandar for graciously honoring us today with his presence. Also, a huge thank you to everyone else who is present here today, and we hope you have a good day ahead of you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.